Hey there. I'm going to talk about fear. You know, fear is an emotion you feel to something real. So like you can fear people, you can fear places, well, real things, places, people, pretty much nouns. Person, place, thing. You can fear those things. But I want to talk about fear in this state. Fear stops you and it hinders you. Hinders and stop is pretty much the same thing. But if you are afraid of heights, you will not go high in the air. You won't get on ladders. You won't get on planes. If you're afraid of water, then you won't get in the ocean. Well, you won't get on the cruise. You won't go on a boat. You won't do anything that involves massive amounts of water. You see, and some people are afraid of people. So if you're afraid of a person, you will not confront that person. You will not go around that person. And there's pretty much levels to fear, but at the base, if you're afraid of something, it can pretty much control you because let's go with you're afraid of clowns, right? If you're afraid of clowns, then you don't want to think about clowns. You don't want to hear about clowns. You don't want to see clowns because you're afraid of it, and it causes something in your mind like, hey, I do not want to be around this. And it stops you from doing that, from thinking about clowns and encountering clowns, right? So fear, it controls you for real. It really does. I don't fear anything. Like, I fear one thing, and that's God. That's it. But I love the Lord, I love the Lord. And you have to fear the Lord at the same time. I'm trying to get that down. But pretty much, I love the Lord, so, he does whatever he wants. Fear mainly stems from the idea that if I encounter this thing, this person, this place, something bad will happen to me. Right? That's where it stems from. Like, you're afraid of heights because you could fall and then you could hurt yourself. Fear of water in the sea stems from, oh, I could drown. Fear of clowns stems from, well, they're just evil looking and they could hurt me. And yeah, so fear also stems from the unexpected, well, it's not unexpected. It's expected that if you encounter this set thing, this set noun, then it will hurt a lot. And it's unpleasant. And it will be unpleasant. So that's pretty much where fear stems from. And it really does stop you from doing things if you fear stuff. Like, if you're afraid of going outside, you will stay inside. And so on and so forth. There's so many more analogies I could talk about. But pretty much, fear, it stops you. And let me tell you why the reason I'm not afraid of anything. Like, I used to be afraid of the dark. And I was afraid to just sit in the dark for long periods of time. But now, I did something. I sat in the dark for a long period of time. And I said, I was pretty much afraid of what was in the dark, what could get me in the dark. So I sat there and I said, if something wants to get me while in the dark, it would have got me already. So I sit there in the dark time and time again, and nothing happened. So guess what? I'm still here and I'm not afraid of the dark. And there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear that you can touch and you can see right now. The only thing you should fear, well, there's not really anything materialistic that you should fear. There's not a person you should fear. The only person you should fear is pretty much God because he has absolute power, but God's going to do whatever he wants. He does what he wants. And this world will end one of these days. But in the meantime, I'm gonna sit back and enjoy it and not have no fears because this is the only life you get. But also go out and do things. Like, don't do anything crazy because everything has a consequence. Just be careful. Don't do things you don't want to do. If you don't like pizza, then don't eat pizza. But if you want to try it, I say try it. You know, it won't hurt. Yeah. But fear, it's an emotion. There's so many more emotions. Like there's happiness. Happiness causes you to, let's see, when you're happy, you pretty much, it pretty much allows you to do whatever you want. If you're happy, you do whatever you want. If you're sad, then you pretty much, sadness really doesn't stop you. Sadness kind of, it makes you lazy. Sadness makes you lazy because you don't want to do anything. You don't want to do any work. And anger motivates you. It really does. Like if you're angry, I had a test today and I got mad at it and I finally did it. It motivated me to get it over with. So yeah, be careful with that too. Just be. I'm trying to work on being even tempered every day, and I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm still pursuing it. I'm pursuing it. But yeah, fear stops you. Fear hinders you, and that's pretty much all about fear, because something bad could happen if you do this thing. So that's pretty much where it stems from. But thank y'all for watching. You all have a great day or great night. Y'all know. Wherever you are, just have a great time. And God bless you, all right? I will talk to you all next time. I hope.